A sergeant typically leads a squad of 6 to 10 soldiers, the backbone of ground operations. These squads operate within a platoon and are often broken down into smaller fire teams, allowing for flexible and tactical movement on the battlefield. The sergeant reports directly to a lieutenant and acts as the critical link between officers and enlisted troops. Their duties go far beyond combat. They're responsible for training their team and making sure every mission goes according to plan. In terms of compensation, a sergeant in the U.S. Army earns between $2,800 and $3,900 per month, depending on years of service, plus housing, food allowances, health care, and education benefits. When it comes to firepower, they're usually equipped with an M4 carbine or M16 rifle, and sometimes carry a sidearm like the M9 Beretta or Sig Sauer M17. The path to sergeant usually begins as a corporal or specialist, and with time, they can rise to staff sergeant, taking on even greater responsibility. The staff sergeant, often abbreviated as SSG, is a seasoned leader in the military chain of command, one step above the sergeant. A staff sergeant typically oversees 2 or more teams, often leading a squad, and is responsible for up to 8 to 16 soldiers, depending on the mission structure. While sergeants lead from the front, staff sergeants manage training schedules, enforce standards, and ensure that every squad under their supervision is combat-ready and synchronized. In terms of pay, a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army earns between $3,200 and $4,700 per month, based on time in service, plus benefits like housing, food, health care, and bonuses for hazardous duty or deployment. Their gear remains mission-adapted, usually an M4 carbine, a sidearm, and advanced communication tools, as they often coordinate movements, call for air support, or guide medevac teams under fire. After several years as a sergeant, those promoted to staff sergeant show exceptional leadership, trustworthiness, and readiness for even greater responsibility, often preparing to become lieutenants. The lieutenant is the entry-level commissioned officer rank, but don't be fooled. Their role carries serious responsibility. A lieutenant typically commands a platoon of 30 to 40 soldiers, making them directly responsible for the safety, discipline, and effectiveness of their unit. They work closely with a platoon sergeant, usually a seasoned staff sergeant, who helps execute orders and manage the squad leaders. Lieutenants are the ones crafting tactical plans on the ground, issuing commands during combat, and ensuring their platoon is trained and mission-ready at all times. Their salary in the U.S. Army starts at around $4,500 per month, increasing with time in service and deployment bonuses. In the field, they carry standard weapons like the M4 carbine, but their main job isn't to shoot, it's to lead. They're also equipped with radios, GPS units, and mission brief kits, often serving as the key point of contact between ground forces and higher command. Whether it's clearing buildings, securing terrain, or coordinating with support units, the lieutenant is the one making fast decisions under fire. After a few years, a lieutenant may be promoted to captain, where they'll take on even larger units and more strategic responsibilities. In short, the lieutenant is where leadership truly begins. The first officer rank where theory meets the battlefield. A captain is a mid-level commissioned officer and one of the most trusted leaders in the military. Typically, a captain commands a company, a unit made up of 3 to 5 platoons, totaling about 100 to 200 soldiers. A captain's salary usually ranges from $5,500 to $8,000 per month. Most of their work involves mission planning, briefing subordinates, and making high-level tactical decisions. Captains also coordinate artillery support, air assets, and supply chains. In combat, they may operate from a command post or on the ground with their troops, depending on the mission. After a few years, many captains attend advanced leadership schools and prepare to become lieutenant colonel, moving into higher command or specialized staff roles. A lieutenant colonel is a senior field officer, often commanding a battalion, a force of 300 to 1,000 soldiers made up of multiple companies. Lieutenant colonels oversee large-scale training, operational planning, logistics, and coordination across wide operational areas. They report directly to a colonel or brigadier general and are often seen as the pivot point between tactical execution and high-level command. Their monthly salary ranges from $7,800 to over $10,000, with added benefits depending on deployment and service time. While they still maintain a weapon for protocol or deployment, their main tools are planning systems, secure communications, and command staff coordination. Many lieutenant colonels are graduates of advanced command and staff colleges, and this rank often serves as a proving ground before promotion to full colonel. A colonel is a senior officer with broad command authority, typically leading a brigade, a unit of 3,000 to 5,000 troops, made up of multiple battalions. Colonels are responsible for high-level operational planning, inter-unit coordination, and implementing military strategy across wide regions or mission sets. Unlike lower ranks, colonels rarely lead in the field. Instead, they operate from headquarters or forward command centers, overseeing subordinate commanders and serving as the key link to generals. A colonel's salary typically ranges from $9,000 to $12,000+ per month, depending on time in service, with extensive benefits and allowances. They carry weapons only when deployed, but are more often seen with classified briefings, operational maps, and strategic orders than on the battlefield. This rank requires completion of War College or senior staff training and is the final step before entering the general officer ranks. A major general is a 2-star general officer and commands a division, a massive formation of 10,000 to 15,000 troops, consisting of several brigades. Major generals oversee not just combat forces, but also intelligence, logistics, air support, cyber operations, and coordination with allied forces. They work out of regional headquarters, often in combat zones or strategic bases, and are in constant communication with both field commanders and higher-level defense leadership. A major general earns around $11,000 to $15,000+ per month, with premium allowances for responsibility, deployment, and housing. They often brief heads of state, advise defense ministers, and lead multinational operations. Promotion to this level requires decades of exemplary service, completion of war colleges, and selection by senior military boards. A lieutenant general is a 3-star general commanding a corps, a formation of 20,000 to 45,000 troops, or serving in high-level strategic positions at the national or international level. Lieutenant generals oversee entire theaters of operation, manage cross-branch coordination, and direct operations involving ground, air, naval, and cyber forces simultaneously. Their command scope extends across multiple divisions, often spanning entire regions or continents. Salaries typically range from $15,000 to $17,000+ per month, with high-level allowances for security, travel, and executive responsibilities. They brief presidents, advise defense secretaries, work with NATO or UN coalitions, and guide the future shape of military operations. Promotion to this level is rare. It's earned through decades of proven leadership, strategic brilliance, and unwavering service. A general, a 4-star officer, holds the highest standard rank in most armed forces and commands entire armies or serves as a top-level military advisor to a nation's leadership. This rank oversees multiple corps, which can represent over 100,000 personnel, and carries responsibility for entire regions of global military engagement. A general earns upwards of $17,000, not including elite-level allowances and operational bonuses. Their tools are not weapons, but satellite intelligence, war rooms, and secure global communication systems. They rarely step into the battlefield, but hold the power to shape its outcome from a global perspective. At this level, a general is not just a commander. They are the ultimate guardian of national security, the voice of military power, and the architect of peace or war.